eat. For my 100 video on YouTube, I'm going to make a churro, Chinese churro. It's a deep fried donut, almost like donut, but it's salty and it's shaped like a stick. It's usually in China, people eating it as a breakfast. So having this kind of deep fried donut with a ball of congee. Or also can use this to make some Cantonese dish like 炸粮. So you use this donut and you wrap it around with steamed rice paper. I'm just going to show you how to make this Chinese churro donut. We will need 500 grams of flour, 4 grams of baking powder, and 4 grams of baking soda. Need 1 tablespoon of oil, vegetable oil, 275 to 280 liters of water, 8 to 10 grams of salt, and 1 egg. Now we just need to add all our ingredients into our bowl and knead it until it's smooth. So first our egg, our baking powder, baking soda, salt, and our water. For our water, just adding a bit by bit until everything is cooperated. Now we can try to knead it. Now after repeatedly kneading our dough, it's getting smooth. Now we can add in our vegetable oil, 1 tablespoon. And we're going to knead this vegetable oil into our dough. Now our dough is smooth and soft. We're going to use a bit of oil on top and then we put it in the fridge overnight. And tomorrow morning we're going to deep fry this. And it's gonna be delicious. Now my dough is rested in the fridge overnight. If it's in winter and your room temperature is not so high, you can also leave it outside in the room temperature. And now we're going to roll our dough, knead it once again. And to prevent it sticking, we can add in a bit of flour, just tiny bit. So we want to have this kind of soft dough, easier to stretch. If it's too cold, we can let it rest again. Try to keep it not so wide, but very long. So we're gonna just roll this out. You can also just use your hand to stretch it if it's really difficult to use a roller. Because we're going to deep fry this later and stretch it again in the pot. If you do this really wide, then you have a relatively smaller pot and it's difficult to deep fry it. So I'm just going to cut my dough in half. So it's easier to roll it. Now you can see I rolled my dough to about 2 milliliter thick and just spread this out as long as possible and not so wide. And we're going to cut this top part away first. Once you cut it out, it maybe will shrink, but don't worry because we're going to stretch this later while deep frying. It's so about 1 centimeter. Depends on how big you want your Chinese churro. Add a bit of flour on the bottom if it's sticking too much. So we fold 2 together and use the chopstick to press it, to seal it in the middle. So once it's deep fried, it comes nicely shaped. And then we just press in 2 ends to seal it. And we're going to do the rest. We prepared all our Chinese churros like these. then we are ready to deep fry them. So we need to turn our stove on to medium-low heat. All our churros, and just stretch them and put it in. So really it should be fluffy like this one. So here are all the deep fried churros or donuts, whatever you call it. In Chinese, called 油条. Basically, it means oilless stick or deep fried stick. So it tastes better when it just made fresh. And you can see it's fluffy. But the dough it's really dense, so it's not really soft, but kind of chewy. And when you make it right, it's really kind of growing and has lots of holes inside. It's salty, it has salt in it. That's why it's really good for some other dishes. So it's kind of like a base for other things or for breakfast. So hope you like this video. Please give me a thumbs up and leave your comments below. If you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.